never ever sense in love, but I can never love, no, I can never love. I can do the things she wants and things I did without, but I can never love, but I can never love. Wish I could find out someone, find out someone, find out someone, someone just like you, just like you. Wish I could find out someone, find out someone, find out someone, someone just like you, just like you. You're a treasure in the sea, an adventure that I need. You're a treasure in the sea, an adventure that I need.
We are moving on from our best of 3 between Orbit and Epsilon to best of 1 now between HellRaisers and ENCE. It could be an explosive battle between 2 top talented teams. I think it's going to go the way of HellRaisers. What do you guys think?
Oh, you're gonna answer the Preds so fast right away.
Get in there with the hard questions, you know.
I mean, it's fair, right? Because it's ENCE who are wounded right now, right? It wouldn't make sense to bet against HR when they've got like a fresh new lineup. They've had a lot of recent success. Like Oscar's just still incredibly on point, and ENCE don't have Stande. Like that's a really rough loss. Now Nasu apparently has been playing really well. They did just knock Godsend into the lower bracket, so a lot of good things going for them. But at the end of the day, it's HellRaisers who have a deeper map pool, more experience together, more proven LAN results. So
the teams are pretty much ready to go. So we'll go through this stuff quickly, but if you are not aware, ENCE is made up of Alu, the superstar AWPer, Yuho, Zate, Sunny, and Nasu currently standing in. Pretty good team. I don't want to give too much props right now because I feel like they still got some potential to, you know, fulfill. Helium, do you want to jump in?
Yeah, so the interesting thing right now is that Stande is not here, and he was the primary op, which if you don't follow the scene might seem, or you just follow it a little and you've heard of the legendary Alu opping, bot Alu, god Alu, you know, whoever you want. So he's actually back to primary op now, and it's Nasu that's coming in as a rifler, so that's actually something that could maybe play to their advantage. It's not like Stande was bad, but now you've got the playmaking potential of Alu back behind that op.
So originally, like, Alu had to learn how to operate when he went on to NIP. It was you know, a weapon that he was comfortable with, but playing on a top-tier team is different. You got to learn how to be a good opper, right? And he did do that. So coming back to it is a great replacement to be able to have Alu opping instead of Stande. It still ultimately would be a disadvantage just not having his presence there and like all the stuff they worked on. You know, who knows what he was responsible for in terms of smokes or flashes or positionings that he had to play. So hopefully it isn't too much weight on their shoulders, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. If we're going to jump right into Preds, I know the players are ready.
Yes, we'll jump into the next team. Of course, yeah, Alu, multi-talented, very good with the AWP and the rifle. Why don't we take a look at HellRaisers? Want to run us through it, Mohan?
Yeah, so we have on HellRaisers a couple new faces. Bondik obviously being the newest addition to the team, and then we have Angels, pretty much the only player here who is left on the original HellRaisers, the one that everyone has in their minds, and he has been playing really well. And I think like having all these this new talent around him has really inspired him to play well. Then we have Oscar, who's considered like a top 5 player in the world, like period, just plays out of his mind whether his team is winning or losing, is always responsible in their biggest best of 3 wins. And then Stiko and Zero, who are like the younger, I think 19 and 18-year-old players.
Yeah, definitely younger players.
Yeah, who are obviously incredibly talented as well. So.
Well, Angel seems to have the keys to HellRaisers. Like you said, he's been the guy that stuck around the longest, whilst the rest of the team has just been switching around, switching places. But now, do you think this is the team that's going to stick? Do you think they're going to stay under this banner with Bondic now as the final guy?
I don't know what you think, Joey, but I think like they're. Oh, I see a little bit down in your face, maybe.
Yeah, I got some doubt. I mean, I think if anyone's gonna go off this team, I mean, it's a big name, but it might be Bondic, right? We saw him right when they. I don't even remember what tournament it was that they were playing in, where Bondic was just having not great results, and he's supposed to be maybe not like the star, but definitely a consistent force that gets this team places, and he just wasn't present. And Questone or Quest One. Yeah. I believe it was Questone.
Questone, yeah.
Who was another young player, again from, I think, where are the Czech Republic, Slovakia? I can't quite
It's
remember.
a very mixed team, HellRaisers, yes.
But he was from the same region that now, you know, Stiko, Zero, and all them are, and Oscar. So I don't know.
Yeah, okay. Well, like we established before, it is a best of one again, and we've got the veto up on screen right now. ENCE started off with a ban of Overpass. HellRaisers took the chance to ban Cash. Then Cobble on ENCE's side, and HellRaisers banning Nuke. Nuke is not getting the light of day.
Yeah, I mean, with all these maps to pick from, and actually ENCE banning Mirage, that's pretty important for them. I think HellRaisers want to see that map over anything else.
Or is it going to be a Dust 2?
A Dust 2.
That would be the best.
Dust 2 is the best overall for them, and HellRaisers are fine playing it, which is a problem for ENCE, right? If you're going up against a better team to play on a map that you're both good at, it just doesn't really favor you that much.
There we go.
That had to be the
yeah.
It is the Dust 2. It's going to be a Dust 2 battle. We've spoken about Dust 2 quite a bit today, about the dynamic of it, the current meta, and this is going to be two teams of firepower going against each other, no?
Yeah, I mean, Oscar's just going to have it's just going to be his playground, you know what I mean? Like, he has so much action on T and CT side. He's expected to get kills. Like, there are maps that it's hard to get off frags on T side with an op, but Dust 2 is not one of them, right? You can run out mid by yourself, get a pick in CT, run up cap by yourself, open up the round, go long off a spawn, get a kill. So a lot of opportunities for him to really shine.
Yeah, well, we are pretty much ready for you guys to cast the game. So would you like to do final, maybe round score predictions?
I'll say 16-10 for HellRaisers.
All right, do I go slightly over you, or do
I think last time you went to 11.
Last time I went up one
right,
round and I got it spot on, first time ever. I'm going to say HellRaisers 16-12.
Okay, well...
Yeah, what about you?
Launders. I don't know
getting out of this.
You started off the segment saying HellRaisers are going to win, so
yeah,
now you got
well,
it.
yeah, I'll put a round score on it then.
You said it fast, by the way, so it has to be a very...
16-13 there, I just coughed it out.
It went up one for me.
Yeah, there we go. So we've got like a 13, 12, and 11, right?
10.
Okay. Fantastic. Well, let's see what happens. Who is going to come out on top? It's a best of one battle between HR and ENCE. Launders and Helium will be casting it. It's going to be awesome.
So Dust 2 is the map here in this best of one. I mean, going into the banning phase where you ban all these maps, I felt that HellRaisers had a slight advantage. They play pretty much every map except for Train.
Yeah.
And then now you got Nuke is a given, right? When you're banning 6 maps, Nuke's not making it through in a best of one.
No. That might make it through as a decider. Maybe it makes its way through in a best of 3 where a team is like just doesn't expect you to pick it at all. But yeah, most of the time, I mean, especially in a best of 1, it's going to come down to a map that you have some overlap on, and it's like no surprise to both of us that it was Dust 2.
Yeah, so ENCE are fantastic at Dust 2. It's one of their preferred maps, a map they use a lot online, but then HellRaisers also. They've played on Dust 2 in some big events, right? Remember their grueling matches every time they met up against Team Liquid back at the major qualifier.
Yeah.
So they're certainly experienced on this map, and I think it's the best one that we could have had here for the best of one between these two teams.
It's funny that you mentioned that map because that was one where on Dust 2, they did such a good job, Liquid that is, of avoiding Oscar. So that's going to be one of the keys to victory for ENCE is avoiding Oscar and trying not to take those fights, even though Al is very, very confident.
Wow, they were just flying out mid here, but that is that Nasu right there with the 4K straight away? He's daring them to push the smoke one more time, and when that's your stand-in for the tournament, 4K on a pistol round?
This is when you tell your team just go for the ace. Like, you need this.
I mean, try for it at least. He's on 11 HP. Try to bring down Stiku.
The longer that you take to make the ace too. That's and his name's ENCE.
Oh, I like that.
That's great. 4 headshots, looking for a 5th. He's gonna have a man pushing to B with him. Okay, so they push him together. Don't want to get 1v5 to counter ace.
He knows he's low. He's just taking a body shield, right? Put him in front.
Yeah.
And then he's gonna still try to get the kills. But it's Alu that makes contact, and now in lower B, it is. He's looking for it. He will go down. So Stiko at least denies the ace, but he falls. There's not much you can do after one player steps up that massively.
ENCE clearly a scrub. Doesn't complete the ace.
Yeah,
Nothing to talk about here besides these insane 4 kills that he got. Wow. It just clotheslines all of his enemies on the mid-B split. That is just so disheartening. It should be for HellRaisers. What an amazing hold by him.
And let's see if we can get some Counter-Strike where the people with the rifles and the scouts and the advantages win the rounds. As HellRaisers have, of course, gone for a bit of a force buy. Scout there on Oscar, which is always scary. A chance for him to warm things up with those scoped weapons.
Indeed. HellRaisers have been given mid. It's not the worst thing in the world. Can't plant the bomb in mid, right? And sometimes you only want to take it as a CT or take control of it so you can get early kills easily. A lot of advantages given to CTs in general, and especially early in the round and all parts of the map. But once it's given up, no sense in retaking it versus this eco. The run boost is going to come out over the head of Alu. Might even just cross this scope. I don't even know if he'll see it.
That'd be quite a shot if Alu's able to react to that. As, you know, this is becoming somewhat of a common thing now. These run boosts starting to be used to clear positions and draw some fire early on, and also just cover a ton of space and get close and personal. And there it is. It will dodge the scout there. Alu does connect one shot, though. That was onto Oscar and Angels. He's moved in so close with this CZ. He will take him down, and Sunny left alone. Not alone, actually. Him and Yuho are both here at long, and they're going to actually switch out weapons. Since Sunny took some damage, he'll sit back with the SMG and watch the long push, and it's going to be Yuho to go to work. There's Nasu with the UMP headshot, but Zero and then Oscar each finding 2. They close out that round, and okay, of course, the team with lower equipment value will win.
Yeah, I know. If anything about the past will tell us about the future, it's that at this event, or at least in the last series, people who have low equipment value aren't completely out of the round and will almost always win. Now, HellRaisers just got so many kills there, especially getting that 5v4 so early into the bomb down was pretty impressive. And off of that run boost, I think they got a lot of info. They kept Alu pretty much neutralized the entire round, so that was good for them. Or at least in that last bit of the round, I should say.
And it's Zart that's going to find the first kill of the round. He brings down Zero with that deagle. Sunny's still somewhat aggressive on Cat here with the CZ and armor. And Nasu was able to take away that AK. So he can maybe be the player for ENCE to step up, as he did in the pistol. Yuho trying to bait them in a little bit to the player at car. I mean, Alu's already low, so I assume they know he's at car. As Yuho's going to go up on the elevator.
Yeah, potentially. And they're coming up long. The crossfire is contingent on Alu, but no, he goes down. And Angel lucky enough to get that kill as he turns away while Alu's reloading. But the flank comes out, and looking for the frag is Sunny. Can't find it, however.
Yeah, pretty tough to do at that range with this easy. He tries to spray, let it go. Maybe channel that inner RNG, but it doesn't work out. Still, though, a lot of people going down in that round. I think only, what, 2 or 3 surviving?
Yeah, only 2 surviving. Yeah, so a very formidable attempt there from ENCE.
And look at this push through middle. As Sunny will get 1 kill actually onto Angel, but now at the barrels, it's Bondic standing tall here.
Wow.
I think along with Stiko, each of them finding a double kill, and that round quickly in the books.
Pretty interesting to see ENCE play. Like, not a lot of data for me when watching them. And so it's just going to be kind of a learning experience, seeing exactly how they tackled us to one of the maps they really like. One of my favorite maps to watch, and I think is a very defining map for teams. Oh, wow. Quick Oscar just hits that through the door, like through the crack.
He was
very
tagging
nice.
people with the scout in previous rounds as well, so it's not like it's the first shot he's hit down middle. And then Zero getting the second kill with his FAMAS. He finds Yuho, and that is grabbing some long control. Sunny wants to re-aggress onto this position, but he's blind as well. He does kill Zero, who was at the blue bin, but Oscar's there with his op, finding his second kill of the round. Now it's up to Alu and Nasu, and it's Alu on site that gets 1. Now he knows that they're going to be coming up on the catwalk, but the smoke goes down. He's spotted 1, but he can't take that shot, and as he tries to jump up, Bondic removes his head.
Absolutely blasted out of the sky as the only man on the site, and it's really difficult to defend versus a split on the site. I mean, typically he shouldn't be given a kill, right? Like, he can stand, his best position is stand at single box and watch people coming across Cat, but even from there you can be pre-fired, so you kind of have to decide, you know, is someone going to be run up my ramp? Do I have a free kill at long? How do I shut down a choke point and worry about, without having to worry about the other one? But basically, once he's there and he's the only one at A, that's pretty much the round 1 already for HellRaisers. So really strong A split so far, and good frags. Good frags.
Oh, another tag coming through. And And I suppose the idea was Stiko's just going to spray through the doors if he gets one. Oh my goodness, he tags him up and makes the shot easier for Oscar to hit, but Oscar doesn't need any help. He just takes a shot through the door, finds a headshot, and then Bondic as well, bringing down Yuho, who looked to push long.
You know, what's really interesting about this the meta right now, the relationship that they have as oppers is, a kill getting taken an upper. 2-player spotted though, so that's an informational advantage for HellRaisers. They did have to forfeit an AK at the cost of that info, but I think they'll take that. And, someone's actually flanking long, and because his teammate went to go pick up the bomb, he's going to have a... even with the noise, he's going to be able to pick up a frag. No, yeah. Bondic, though.
Well, think about that. He had 2 players running behind them. He probably just felt it was his teammate.
Right. Yeah.
And that was a bit of a sketchy spot, and maybe still is, because it was Nasu that got this AK, and will just be dodged as the smoke went down and the bomb on Bondic went up to the catwalk. HellRaisers have had this A-site control forever. The problem was the bomb not being there, and well, Nasu's still going to keep going for this. That flash doesn't work out. Maybe it bounced far enough to get someone up at barrels, but still, position given up, and now Nasu's just got to go onto the site 1 versus 2. You can see a player watching that CT cross tries to bait out a shot with a fake flash that was actually a CZ.
He's got no armor.
He has actually spotted one on the cat side of the sight box, but it's Stiko from underneath.
Yeah, no armor to support him in that endeavor. Maybe worthwhile to just save that AK. There's the big man, Oscar himself. And Bondic.
Camel.
Back turned. Camel, yeah. Putting his team on his back.
Definitely.
If his team were... That was the joke that I wanted to use for Liquid, right?
Yeah, it was Hiko.
Yeah,
that was the camel.
Hiko had a camel, that would be good.
I think someone did end up photoshopping that up for us. So
oh yeah, that's right.
Shout out to that guy.
That guy.
Double ops right now, Alu and Zart. I've not seen Zart pick up the op before this team, but that's what happens when Stonda's not around.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, yeah, that power of their team probably was having the double op whenever they wanted to.
And Alu playing over here at Car. Sunny supporting. Oh, and I think, okay, Zart will take care of Stiko, and Sunny's just going to push through that smoke. As CT's cleared up, he's going to go help out, but Nasu doesn't need any help. He gets a double spray down, and Zart holding onto the tunnels. He's killed Bondic. So 2 kills for each of the boys over at B on the side of ENCE, and that will be their 2nd round. Solid
Cleanup there from ENCE. They're, I mean, able to just get all those kills in quick succession. I mean, shutting down the CT drop was the most important one because that allowed our A player to push through the smoke and catch them on the mid B split. And they really, you know, the reason why they do that cat smoke is so they can fake cat, push someone back to A, then have one in CT to control that rotate. And once he goes down, you know, it's there. I mean, him staying alive is what that win was contingent on.
Look at those lucky 7s there for HellRaisers. Bondic, Oscar, and Stiko all with 7 frags. Although Oscar could ruin that and maybe get one more here. He's got 30 seconds to go, 1 on 4. Cause some damage. That's got to be his mindset right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're Oscar, you always feel like you're somewhat in the round. But he's got to deal with 4 players in pretty much pristine positions. And moving up is going to get the side of his head blown off, and it looks like, yep.
Yeah, and Nasu didn't even move. I think that's where he got the double kill from, right?
Mm. And you have to make assumptions about what adjustments are being made and you know, hope that you can get away with not clearing an angle. And that's really the only way you do win a clutch round is by taking risks. To no avail though. ENCE end up saving 4 and they get their 2nd round. So now they have a huge opportunity. And wow, not to taking damage from Oscar again at mid. They have to do something else. I mean, they have to like literally smoke this and then wait.
B.
Or yeah, don't play B.
Yeah, Oscar has honestly, even with the scout he was hitting people, he might have hit someone on every single round, like give or take 1.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can't really give a round, take 1. As Sunny's gone up to the boxes here, looking to, again, maybe shut down a mid to B split from the HellRaisers, but at 0 with the first kill of the round, he will bring down Zart. And Sunny's going to go for the jump. Oh, nice. Oh, no, I thought he hit it, but will miss. It's not the easiest of jumps, actually, but he gets it.
Yeah, you can just jump straight. It's all about just jumping late on that one.
Yeah.
This box is really finicky, too. If you, like, crouch and move around, then you can just get flipped and then...
You get stuck underneath it and can't stand.
Yeah.
So man advantage for HellRaisers, just under a minute on the clock. Bomb to be reclaimed here by 0. And he's going to bring it up the catwalk as well. HellRaisers with the catwalk control. They'll have to get past Alu. What will they use here? I imagine some smokes are going to come out. maybe a drop off of the catwalk as well.
Yeah, they just need to far flash him off of this. I mean, they can probably assume if there's going to be an op here that it's likely Alu and that he's likely at car, because it's just a safe position to be in. You can always fall off the long as long as your teammate's alive. But long control's not being taken yet, so it seems like they're forfeiting to do a retake, and Sunny, though, adds to it in a big way, getting that first kill.
Yeah, that's a massive kill for Sunny. The A site was completely given up. The fact that he can get one from ramp really helps out. They got 2 players in long being pressured. Bondic will get one, that's Yuho. And they assume, you know, Alu's been playing this A site, so he's got to be at long and he's got an op, so they don't challenge it. Wow. And they planted for Cat. Look at Angel maintaining that Cat control, finding a double kill there. And now it's Alu all alone. Bondic trying to bait out the shots, and it's actually Alu just using the USP, and he will get the kill. Bondic hitting the panic button there, I think. But it won't matter all that much. Shot miss from Alu. They tried hard to bait that one out.
Yep. Now, it's surprising, like, so many of those kills could have turned around completely. You know, the multi-kill on Cat, and then the long control being held by Bondic to secure the frag. Those all ensure that the afterplant goes smoothly, especially after Sunny gets that first frag on a player crossing and then stays alive. So now it's a really tough spot, and they're just down so many rounds and they have to save. Sunny's gonna get half armor MP9. Does he mean a lower push, or is he up on Cat?
Guess who
In a similar setup, we saw Alu kind of defend long and then go back to plat, where 2 of his teammates were on A. Hard to have that read, but ultimately maybe could have been a little bit more patient. His teammates are still trying to win this round, so therefore if he was alive, they might have had a better chance.
Yeah, Bondic pushed off of Catwalk there because the Molotov's going down. Oscar has reclaimed that bomb and will be the one to carry it for now. And once again, ENCE really banking on this mid to B split. This time they might be right. Or no, they're going to go back over to Catwalk. Let Oscar try to open up the site. They will flash. I'm not sure if that's going to have been heard by Sunny, who's down there in CT spawn.
Yeah, he can hear. He knows that Cat control is being taken. That's what's called. But that's just, you know, like, that's what Alu's for. He's just going to be fed these kills if there isn't enough utility to shy him away from this angle.
I was hoping to see the run boost come out for HellRaisers like they did to get past the scoped weapon of Alu on that second round. They don't do it. They just go out normally. A little bit of utility used. And did earn them a bomb plant, but it's now Oscar 1 versus 4. He goes with that Tech 9, takes Sunny out of the air as he was looking to jump and hit one of those shots. Oscar, for a second, thought he was going to hit that one and make things really interesting, but Yuho will get the headshot.
I know, you give him an inch and he'll take a mile, right? Like, that's what you feel like when you watch Oscar clutch. So getting that first go made us, I think, a little bit nervous for ENCE, but they do seal it up and keep most of their players alive. So very good round from them. And you know, it started with Alu winning his off to a long, and then shutting down Stiko, who tried to even up on Cat. A little bit too aggressive, and they've got to be disciplined. You know, you want to have the lead, but you want to maintain it if you want to be the best of the best.
And Oscar either didn't see them or wasn't baited out, but then saw some toes, so he's aiming straight at this player that might peek. Oscar's finally going to shoot. It's so funny. I mean, mid often a big part of Dust 2, but I feel like it really has been a big part in the last couple Dust 2s that we've covered.
Yeah.
With Bubble and that previous Best of 3 series, and then certainly Oscar here.
Yeah, and a T-sided affair at that.
Alu will take a little bit of damage from that player that was in lower B.
Alu's starting to do a good job of, like, getting a kill or staying alive, avoiding Oscar in general, not taking fights he doesn't need to. Ooh, just posted up for so long. Giving that up and falling off. What happens from here? Mid control's conceded. Oscar has to find a new fight. It looks like he's going to take his talents up Cat. The assistance of Stiko.
Yeah, and Alu, he kind of gave up that mid battle, but he shifted over to B initially, so he's no longer there. He's not up at car where we've seen him a lot of these rounds. Bringing down the players on the catwalk. It looks like he's starting to slide back over that way. And we can see the HellRaisers have completely taken that cat control once again in a 5-on-5. And what are the nades here for ENCE to even stop this? One smoke, that's all they have. 2 Molotovs and a few flashes. Molotov does go in to slow them down. Are they going to push through it? They're actually jumping off of, oh no, they didn't jump off quite yet. We have Stiko who's made it past the smoke. Now they're all going. Alu doesn't realize this. He thinks maybe they have, and the flashers are going in. They're confusing him. Stiko takes Sunny out of Goose, but now Alu's able to peek up. He wasn't dealt with yet, but he's one and done. Angel will bring him down. Bomb going down. HellRaisers. man advantage here. It'll be Nasu retaking there from the ramps. Yuho already situated in pit. It is Nasu that gets the kill onto Oscar. Can he do anything more, though, as he's backpedaling up? Now has to look into the site. Does find his second kill. That brings down Angel, but the bomb planted for Cat. There's that one smoke. Perfectly used. Oh, maybe not. It does miss. It does leave a bit of a gap. All three players here challenging this from ENCE. And they will not win it. Bondic gets two of them.
Wow. Wow, I thought this was the round, okay? That ENCE had come close to winning retakes. They had done it a couple of times versus these cat takes of HellRaisers, but this round they had the man advantage leading up into the last few moments. They had that cat smoke come out and they still couldn't do it. The cat smoke, maybe it's something you should line up if you're going to perform the retake, because that thing having a gap in it almost made it useless in the sense that they couldn't cause players to push through it. In fact, if someone jumped on bricks, they probably would have been able to peek dry and made it seem like they were behind the smoke, so working almost against them.
Now look at Zero here. He did take a lot of damage early on. I think perhaps from the scout of Zart, as we've got Zart and Nasu playing over in B. One player on Cat, so more of the standard CT setup for ENCE in this round, but in this round they don't have that much of an economy. So you can see Yuho tries to make a play and push through that smoke, but Bondic shoots him down.
Yeah, always good measure when you're waiting on an anti-eco to actually play inside the door. It seems a little bit more risky, but retaking the door becomes trouble and causes a loss of resources if you have to do it from outside, whereas if you're in the door the whole time, you know if someone crosses through. You also get that free frag if someone comes through the smoke. So waiting with it is not such a bad idea. That is your territory after all as a terrorist.
Well, Oscar hit one of the shots off of the barrels into middle. He was starting to spam the door where we actually saw him get a spamming headshot earlier. That's where, who is that? I can't tell who that quite was. I think that was Alu. No, Nasu, there he is. Perhaps even lucky to be alive. As he might have got the information, though, from the footsteps that HellRaisers have gone over to B. You can see this long push starting to come out now from Sunny. He's actually gone through. And now all the rotations as they know it's B. Nasu looking for that free kill and, well, does find it. Luckily, Zero was low, so at that range, he can get the kill. Bomb yet to go down, but it will be going down soon. Tunnels are smoked off, and Stiko going to be in charge of watching it.
Yeah, little to nothing to do here. They've got a couple of guns to save, but it is the last round, so I don't know how they're going to do this. They have two in the tunnel, one out mid, and no utility. Well, no, they've got a smoke. This could be critical. The issue is finding the frags once the smoke comes out. And there it is. Backbox will allow them to get in the site. Flash comes out. Kills, though, on the side of HellRaisers, and they get all three in the after plant.
And Stiko is in such a good spot. He was on the boxes, but when the flashes started coming out, he dropped to the other side to hold off and then wasn't even needed because everyone else who was alive hit their shot. So a dominant first half here from the HellRaisers, 12 to just the 3 rounds of ENCE. And they do all that from the T side.
Everything went their way. They were able to perform everything they wanted to do. Their cat take looked especially fierce, right? I think ENCE were really hoping to see a mid B at some point. They didn't really get that opportunity except for the first round, right, where they were able to kill the spawn dropper. But
that was the problem, right? Nasu was so effective at shutting down mid to B on the pistol that they just never did it again.
No, sorry, the first round and the first rifle. They killed the spawn drop, and I think Nasu killed that guy and then pushed through the smoke and then got 2 more coming to the side. He got 17 kills in this half, though, eh?
Yeah.
So, yeah, too bad that didn't result in any more rounds, but HellRaisers should be feeling pretty good about this one.
Yeah, still definitely making a name for himself. As I mean, Natu was telling me he is a very experienced player, but I would reckon a lot of people out of the Finnish scene don't know who he is. So to play that well, you know, at this level of a tournament, it's got to feel good for him. But of course, you're looking for that team victory, and ENCE have a lot of work to do now from their T side to try to make this best of 1 competitive.
Yeah. HellRaisers, no strangers to pistols or Dust 2. And it looks like they found a way to walk up mid. A lot of mid control being taken. B is actually able to be circumvented by the terrorists if they're there to push in, though. I don't think they realize it. Molly to defend and 3 people outside the site now. They've got a good beat on this round. They know it's not long.
Yes, so many people over on this B side of the map, and the flanks coming in as well. I think that's Zero doing that. Yuho's going to push through the smoke. Zero gets the first kill. Actually, he's going to grab 2. So it was not him on the flank. He's there on the platform, gets 2. Finally, Yuho will take him out. It was Oscar that was on the flank, but is he even needed? No, because it's Sunny the one extra part of that strat. He's out in middle all alone with nothing to do but run in and die.
Absolutely beast by HellRaisers. Just all of those kills, all that info. Going for the late push-up cat was the exact play that they needed to do. Like, ENCE decided to forfeit a lot of the map control, go for tunnels, and then just try to hit B delayed, hoping that no one pushed. And they were wrong about that. HellRaisers took their advantage and ran with it, played aggressively, and it paid off.
And an update here is ENCE are just on Glocks. We have Godsent winning 16-6, I believe it was, over CSGO Lounge, who lost to HellRaisers 16-10. So that means CSGO Lounge are out.
Sad but expected.
And Godsent have earned themselves a best of 3.
Yeah. Very interesting.
As it was ENCE, who are down 10 rounds on this map, that actually beat Godsent in overtime.
True.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy.
Chain logic will tell you this is about to be an exciting game, but it might be close to over. ENCE block saving for next round and really desperately want to plant here.
That's
good
nade.
nade.
Perfectly thrown. A little bit of a fadeaway on that. Bondic getting the reload in. He wants some more kills, and he will find one. That was Stico double spray down with the FAMAS.
You know, it's Glocks, right? You're not going to win the round. You're going long, however, so that means like you're relying on being able to try to get up like at least halfway without being spotted. Hopefully, no one's playing there. But ultimately, a smoke would just do so much more for you, right? To have one on the cross. I mean, probably you definitely still lose, like almost certainly 99% of the time. But getting the plant was the goal, and they couldn't do it now. They have a scout, Deagle, Galil.
Oh, Alu gets dinked, but he's done quite a bit of damage back. I think he tagged up both Zero and Angel, and Angel's going to fall. And Yuho kills Oscar, who was on full HP. So ENCE fighting back, and Alu through the door. Scout headshot on the Stico. Bondic also can't get the spray down. Sunny will kill him, and it's 0-1 versus 5.
Oh my god, is that real? Holy smokes. It looks like they're just looking for Zero. They know he's the B player. And they get that frag. So they get a fourth round. Team Oscar. A little bit upset about that round. Nothing much to be worried about, I'm sure. They've got a strong lead. They've got the pistols. They had an insane first half. Everybody's on point who's supposed to be.
I mean, that was a bit of a surprising buy, though, right? Because they didn't plant on the pistol round, then went full Glocks and bot.
Yeah.
So maybe caught a little off guard there. And then Alu, of course, just went to work and is doing so again on this round.
Versus the Eco now. Little to no utility. Oscar's the op or the armor and the Deagle. One of the few players you could trust to have an Deagle, secure a frag, of course.
Yeah, and maybe even more than that, but a lot of players have taken damage, and Zero's already down. See what Yuho can do here off of the catwalk. Actually, Bondic is pushing Cat from the CT side. Maybe he can catch them off guard. I'm sure Angel... Oh, Angel's really baiting them in now as he actually gets that kill. Now there's a chance. Oh, the man on catwalk coming up with nothing, and Nade takes down Angel. Alu and Zart each getting a kill of their own, and now it's just Oscar trying to cause some more damage here. Player will drop for him, but the flash going just as Alu landed. That was really well done.
Yeah, that was really well done. That's something you can do all the time if you have that really good lineup and get yourself in a CT. Now we move into another round where I'm not sure if we're going to have enough money to buy on the part of HellRaisers to get Eco. It looks like they put it together. Oscar has an op in his hands now. Bondic leading the scoreboard, 21 frags for his team.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see if you're a HellRaisers fan or even just a fan of Bondic. It's absolutely not what ENCE wants to see as they're going up against a rifle round now, and it's not gone well. Look at Bondic blind and falling back off of his 2K. Can he get any more? He pulls out a nade, nearly costing him his life, but finds the headshot on the Sunny, and then the fourth 4K for Bondic.
Holy smokes. I thought, okay, he trades places with his teammate. His teammate falls off. He's pushing along. Like, why be there by yourself? And then he gets the first kill. He gets the second. He stays alive. There's 4 people out long. And then he kills the last 2. Like, what? And just as we mentioned, he was at 21 kills, now at 25. Match point for HellRaisers. And they move into the final round, potentially. Where, well, ENCE actually have 2 ops here on the T side.
Yeah, certainly interesting. And all right, there's one. Alu will start them off with a quick peek, and he brings down Oscar. Definitely a player you want to eliminate from HellRaisers straight away.
Alu's either been avoiding Oscar or actually winning duels with him quite often. Really, really good stuff from him. You just almost never see that.
And ENCE have been given full catwalk control now. Man advantage, trying to work their way back over. It's Stico, who will find nothing, still partially blind from those flashes. So Yuho getting the entry onto the A site.
Oh, we see
it very clear now. HellRaisers may just save.
Yeah. We can see from the positions right now, we have a player at green box, and he's just supposed to catch people jumping up on Xbox and watching mid for the rotates. He can call if anyone crosses doors. He can hold if someone pushes back through long. Like, there's so much value in that. And you can tell that when you leave a player there that you have the intention to go for the cat plant and play sight box, play elbow, play on cat 2 people, and then have one up at green box if you have all 5.
Bondic's got help, actually, and it's going to be Angel from CT that will avenge the fallen Bondic as they look to save these guns. And it's moving forward, and actually, okay, there's Alu with the op once more. No damage taken from him on this round, and he gets a double. And it's Angel, just Angel, who will survive with a weapon in hand.
Solid round overall. They're able to get across cat, and at a moment where Angel didn't expect someone to be coming across cat, so they picked a golden time to come to do their execute, and that was something that we saw HellRaisers get away with so many times on their T side. So a bit of a taste of their own medicine, you could say. As HellRaisers continue to be on match point, this would be an insane comeback. Obviously, if ENCE were able to do it. Was it? Do you remember if in the Godsend matchup that ENCE were able to come back on T side or CT side?
I don't know. It was very close. When we got that update, it was 14-13.
Right.
So even if there was a comeback, it wasn't that large, or someone wasn't on match point for a very long time. But you at home, you have the power to look that up. We do not.
Where could they look that up, Joey?
I would go to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia.
Yeah. Maybe hit up Stitch over at HLTV. I don't know.
Shout out to Stitch.
Again, HellRaisers. They actually got another gun out of this round, too. They killed one of the ops. They brought down Alu, and they're just trying to preserve that. Zero, he dies, but he doesn't really care. He was kind of just out on the field still. He's got the information. He can say, hey, they're coming through B tunnels. Watch that. And Bondic will do just that. And it looks like they may survive. One more player coming up that way. That is Sunny. Bondic's going to turn his attention over to CT. Or T, rather.
The thing is, like, one tendency that ENCE have right now is that, and it's the reason I'm excuse me, the reason I'm hesitant to call it a tendency or say this is something specific to ENCE that they could look for is that every time they go for mid control, they end up working up cat and then almost always executing out of it. But I think the problem is that so many teams do that, and just getting cat control doesn't actually mean that a cat execute is coming. So there isn't much info that you can use in that regard to change the way that you play the early to mid round. You kind of give up cat because you know you can rely on your op or a car. And so I think the only thing is that they know a lot of the time when ENCE play a round out slowly that they're going to send 2 people lower. They're going to have one off and spawn to try to cut off that angle. So trying to figure out how to deal with that, I think, is going to be the goal for them.
So the double op got taken away. So Zart will throw his over to Alu, and I believe it's Oscar that actually has Alu's op. Yep, Alu's op. That's literally exactly what it says. I like it. Hasn't gone in for a cheeky name, some players often do. Like Yuho's AK, for instance. Angel playing this can be a really strong angle. Like, even if you look this way.
This is Angel's angle, yeah.
Yeah, you just don't see them, and they can see you through that crack and kind of just spray you down. As he's closer to the crack, so he can see more through it than vice versa. That's science.
That's science for you.
This round playing out slow, as you might expect. ENCE, backs up against the wall. Any round could be their last, so I imagine it is rather nerve-wracking to actually be the one to step up, make the play, and try to get the map control.
We'll see how that goes. Again, cat is taken. They haven't actually split long off of the cat takes. Instead, they use their long player to stay at green box, and I think they're congregating towards a similar strategy right now. The thing is, HellRaisers have the appropriate setup for a cat take. They have one at Goose, so he's going to be the man of the hour, and we'll have to defend against anyone crossing. Oscar, they're going to do his best to neutralize him, and if they do it properly, they should. Yeah, they try to throw the smoke to neutralize that one angle, but Oscar can still go up on car. HellRaisers, meanwhile, have dropped and are looking to push him on the ground, and that's what happens. Oscar coming up empty-handed, but then Stico from Goose finds one, is brought down. Nasu with the trade, ENCE with the man advantage, the bomb going down. Alu from Goose gets one more. He kills Bondic, and now Angel and Zero looking to save, but they're running straight into Sunny. Sunny at lower B finds 2. Wow, well played. And again, they get away with that, and Sunny's done a good job there. Everything falls into place, right? They neutralize Oscar. They get the frag on him by putting a lot of pressure on him by getting up close to that smoke, and then they get the Goose player isolated and in a situation where he can get 1 kill, but once he's spotted, has the flattest angle out there. And that means that if someone peeks him, he's going to have a severe disadvantage, has to pre-fire, and has to play really, really scared, but also really aggressively.
It is Alu's turn to do the damage through the mid double doors. He tagged up Angel, I believe. Here's Bondic on low HP. Does manage to get 1 kill with that P250. That's on to Sunny. And now Oscar just going to push off of the catwalk. Oh, he's been spotted by his teammate who shoots him. And Nasu, maybe hearing that, is just going to wait out in lower B lurking. Brings down 0. Yuho finds Angel, and it's pretty much cleanup duty now for ENCE. Yep, Alu gets the last one onto Oscar.
One step closer, but still a giant mountain to climb. And I think HellRaisers is coming close to winning the round where Oscar kind of was kind of put in a position where he either had to fall back and leave his Goose player stranded, or take a fight and lose. And I think he chose the option number 2 and ended up coming away unsuccessful. So depending on how he makes his adjustment, wow, that'd be critical. But instead of doing that, getting an early round frag at mid is a big play by him. And Angel wants to take this fight, but he also wants to stay alive.
Oh, no way they're going to get another do damage with the rifle and finish him off with a nade kill. I thought Angel was about to make that happen as he pulled out that nade. And here's Bondic bringing down Sunny. Okay, I was going to say, I didn't catch where it was, but it was over at long. Bondic playing in the pit there and maintaining that long control for the HellRaisers, and it's ENCE. Again, their backs up against that wall here on Cat. Stiko to bring down Alu. And now it's just up to Nasu and Zart.
Yeah, this is almost it. Match point here. ENCE on their last limbs have 2 alive and are going to look for a frag. They do find one on Stiko. They're going to smoke out mid-B, but they're flanked. Bondic actually gets the last 2 kills, and HellRaisers win the map convincingly.
Yeah, it was a nice little run back for a bit there from ENCE. Seeing some good things from them. As the first half, they only had 3 rounds, so they put together 6 there on their T side, but HellRaisers just did so well early on that, and got to match point fairly early too, and you just kind of knew they were going to close it out. Mm-hmm. And that's got to be tough. It was, what was it, 15-6? Was that when they got match point? Yeah. Match point at 15-6?
I think they had 15-4.
Okay, so they did a little bit of work on the way back.
ENCE got potentially one of the best starts ever with that 4K pistol, but then they got anti-eco'd in the second round, and it just seemed that they couldn't quite get a hold on the game. What happened?
Well, I mean, that just goes to show you like how irrelevant our pistols are to showing how good a team is, right? It's
Don't say anything too loud. The owner,
yeah,
R2 is just over there.
I mean, or how well a team is going to play, right? So if you win the pistol, like, yeah, that's great. Like, you hit some headshots. But the thing is, like, the Counter-Strike's all about, like, having an advantage and then pushing that advantage and turning it into a round win, right? And so they had that going for them on the pistol, but it came down to just aim in that situation, right? He was able to get that 4K, and that says a lot for him.
And it was Nasu as well, the sub.
Yeah.
End sub.
Yeah, and he actually finished that half, like, 17 frags, which was pretty incredible. But overall, like, the thing is, they came so close to winning a lot of the rounds. I liked how often they saved, right? There was many cat takes or retakes that they had to perform where they're at a severe disadvantage. They came close to winning and realized they had to save. And I think there's tons of good things to say about the way they played in terms of, you know, how safe it was and how reliably they were counting on ways to win rounds. But just not sealing them up at the end of the day. And HellRaisers honestly outscaling them at many points in the game.
We're actually going to get Stiko for an interview shortly, but Helium, let me get your thoughts first on what you think ENCE could have done better.
Well, like you said, it came down to they kind of just got outskilled and outplayed. It's hard to go up against Oscar. I mean, you can't not play B, right? They were getting tagged every single time when they crossed from Oscar, so he's putting in 80 to 100 damage at the start of every single round, and that makes life very, very difficult. We did see their adjustment come out early on where they tried to start stacking over towards the B site, and then HellRaisers just kept taking cat control, and we're like, see ya, we're on A. So I don't know, maybe some better adjustments, better reads. Hit their shots.
Yeah, talking about HellRaisers, we have Stiko, the representative. Good to see you. Congratulations on that. How did that match go for you?
Yeah, so on Dust 2, we feel really comfortable against ENCE. I know the Finnish guys like this map a lot, and we just went on a really good T-half, where we end up 12-3, and we just really adapted to their double op setup. We had a really good counter strats to that. And luckily for us, we won every important round, every important clutch, and pretty much that sealed the deal for the good T-half. And CT was all about just closing the game. We were playing a bit safe, just not to give them too much economical advantage. But after that, we just finished the game.
Did you have a good idea of how they were going to play as a team before you went into this match? Were you prepared?
I think we were really prepared because we were practicing them a lot last few weeks prior to this tournament, and we know their tendencies, we know what to expect, kind of. And we also know that they are kind of weakened by the stand-in right now, which isn't really good for them, but what can they do?
No, actually, their stand-in, he had a really good half. His first half was like, he had 17 frags or something like that. That kept you off guard.
Yeah, it was really nice by Nasu to stand in like this because he put up a really good performance, especially in, I believe, first round of this whole match was him doing 4-quad middle. I think I was alone in the B tunnels and I was like watching the up corner of my monitor just dying with my team.
Yeah. You denied his ace though, you killed him.
Yeah, I expected them to hunt for this ace because they didn't peek me that much. And I was expecting that they will have some ridiculous crossfire with 3 guys, so I kind of just wanted just to deny the ace.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Yeah.
We all want to. If there's ever someone who's on a 4K and they're close to that ace, we will all try and do anything to stop them from getting that ace, so we can all relate. You're going to go on to play Orbit tomorrow, who have been playing pretty well today in general. How do you feel you guys match up against them?
Well, our matchup is really good against them. We beat them a lot on I believe from the last major. We didn't lose once on LAN, especially it was on Copenhagen Games in finals, PGL Minor in finals. We just have a good read on them. We just know how to play against them. And it's a really comfortable matchup for us.
Okay, and in general, how happy are you guys at the moment with how you're performing? Are you as a team, HellRaisers, do you think you guys are playing as well as you can? What can you improve on?
Yeah, I'm actually happy, but I'm not sure we are quite reaching our potential yet. We had a pretty much slump last week, and we came, at least I expect not so good performance from us on this tournament, but we actually put up good numbers. We had a aim on point, and our game plan was also pretty good, so I hope we are overcoming this slump already.
Okay. Well, guys, do you have any final questions before we head into the statistics for that map?
Trying to think.
Any burning questions? You might never get to speak to
How is
again.
it to play with Oscar when he just does such ridiculous things like so consistently with this op or whatever he has?
Yeah, we are just supporting him. 4 guys running around him, dropping him guns, splashes, just reading his mind and doing what he has to do to make him comfortable, basically, on the map.
Nice.
Is he truly a complete player? Does he have the comms too? Does he have the good attitude to go along with it?
Well, I wouldn't say it's complete player, but he's on the right path, I hope.
Well, I think you guys are, as a team, on the right path at the moment. At least HellRaisers, maybe as an organisation, making your way back up in the CSGO game, which is great to see. And so, thank you very much for your time. We're going to head into the statistics for the map now, so you can head off. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate your time. So there we go, statistics. Helium, would you like to run us through any of those?
Yeah, so right away you can see Bondic with a massive performance. Actually ended up getting 30 kills there. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And then Oscar, we don't have ADR it looks like, but Oscar did about 80 damage or more through the double doors every single time. So, you know, he's got a...
Did you see that wallbang?
Oh, we do have his assists. He actually only has 4 assists, so I guess he finished most of them off. Yeah, and then...
He was just spamming the door and then boom, gets a headshot.
Yeah, sometimes things just go your way. But I'd say the biggest takeaway here is really Bondic showing up to the tournament.
Yeah, well, for me, Bondic would sometimes be quite consistent on flip side, and then he would have big games. Maybe now on HellRaisers he can find real consistency. What do you think, Mohan?
Sometimes it's just the actual act of switching teams that'll like breathe life into you. You know, you'd be motivated to try again. Maybe you're down to do your 1,000 kills every single day, get your aim on point. You feel like, oh, you know, my last team, I didn't see them going anywhere, but now there's a chance for them to go somewhere. I want to prove to these guys that, you know, I switched teams for a reason, right? And so even just that alone, because you see how good he can play, right? So you know that he has a high enough skill ceiling that you can. The only thing that's haunting him is maybe consistency, and we could see how that might allow him to reach his potential more often than not.
Do you think some parallels can be drawn between this current HellRaisers squad and the old one, which was known for having great firepower, but not necessarily being technically the best team when it was Angel, Kucha, and Dosia and those guys, and the team now, who are a great firepower team, but not necessarily hitting the heights that they could, maybe if they were a bit more cohesive and stuff. Any parallels to be drawn there, or is that just me talking off the top of my head?
Between the two teams?
Well, between the old HellRaisers squad and the current one, can you see some similarities in how they're viewed or how they play?
In how they play, I guess so. Like, just CIS teams are very aggressive in general, and they play off of talent. But in terms of mistakes, like, old HellRaisers made way more mistakes, like, all the time. So I think they're just an overall improvement.
Oh, okay, overall improvement. Well, fantastic on that. Great points. Let's move on now and look at the group brackets. Here we go, on screen. Any thoughts of what we've seen so far and what we have to come?
Well, my thought is I wish we saw the best of ones that started off Group B. Godsent versus ENCE looks like it was crazy, and then especially now given the result that ENCE just had, getting only 9 rounds on HellRaisers, it's like, wow, what happened there for Godsent to lose? And then, of course, HellRaisers beat Lounge Gaming. That's like a regional matchup, so it's not too surprising. And then, of course, HellRaisers now moving on.
Oh, that is going to be such good. I think that's going to be a great match tomorrow, HellRaisers Orbit. If Orbit if both teams play, did you not agree? Or?
Yeah, I don't agree at all.
Oh, okay. Please, no. Well, you go ahead.
I think HellRaisers just stomp them.
It's going to be
You
a stomp.
think so? Okay.
Well, we just had Stiko say we've been crushing them, and we had Victor say they have some black magic over us.
Yeah,
like, it doesn't seem like it's going to go well for Orbit.
I know, but I don't want you guys, Yanis. You're going to know this better than me, but I don't want to read into it too much yet. You know, words are words from both teams. You know, and so I don't know. For me personally, I'll see how the maps go. But do you want to put some reasoning behind that, other than what they've said? Do you think playstyle wise or just general?
It's probably just like it's probably just like a mental block. Like, yeah, they're on land, new environment, maybe just like more fired up to win. Maybe practice is just practice, right? But if you have the mental block, you already think you're going to lose, and like you called out HellRaisers being the #1 team at the tournament that you don't want to play, even though you don't know that you're going to play them. It's like, yeah, it's hard to win a losing battle in that way.
No, I can definitely see the reason behind what you're doing.
Also,
maybe I'm being a bit of a devil's advocate.
It's also a best of 3.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
So like maybe Orbit get one map, but what we saw from Orbit up against Epsilon, like, it was not great Counter-Strike. It was some really scrappy rounds, and yeah, they got off a little bit better just winning some more of the clutches, but I don't think that's sustainable against HellRaisers. And you just said this new HellRaisers lineup is making a lot less mistakes than the older one, so you don't expect HellRaisers to have as big of blunders, so I don't think Orbit will capitalize on that because they won't be available. And then a best of 3, I mean, it's at least 2-1 HellRaisers, right?
Before we get to the commercial break that we will be going into shortly, Godsent, ENCE, initial thoughts. We will delve into it more when we do the section before the actual match, but just initial thoughts right now.
You know, they lost, but I think they lost it gracefully. I think ENCE just had, round by round, had a lot of good things to say about them, even if they weren't able to close them out. I think a lot of them came close. I think they were able to do a lot of things that HellRaisers did to them, except they weren't able to win the duels, right? So I think there's a lot of good to be said about ENCE and the fact that you know, you might be worried that their sub isn't going to perform well or fill the role that Stande did. Well, he was playing out of his mind, and you know, to some extent, you still might not be able to fill the role of Stande, but the least you can do is pick up some extra kills, and he did that.
And then for Godsent, right? We didn't even get to see
either
of the matches that they play, which is crazy because you'd think there's such a big storyline after Malmo and the results that they were able to put up there, where we find out, I mean, we've known about Lekro for a little while just because, you know, we've cast a lot of more of the tier 2 matches where like Lekro, Twist, Palf, and even Schneider have been hiding out. It was only Pronax in the forefront recently as the IGL4 Fnatic, of course, and then dropping back down to what do you think initially is like, oh, he's going to play with friends. This will never work.
Yeah.
And it certainly wasn't working with Devil Walk, but now that he's gone and they found some of the younger talent like Twist, Palf, and Lekro, I'm excited to watch them play.
I am very excited as well. Talking about people going out, CSGO Lounge are now our second team joining SK out of the tournament. I feel pretty bad because I literally haven't even seen them today. I didn't see them walk by to the bit. Have you guys seen any of the guys?
I saw them walk by.
Did you say SK?
He said CSGO Lounge.
Oh,
CSGO Lounge and
oh,
SK.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct.
You're right.
Yes.
No, I was talking about who you saw.
No.
I saw you taking selfies with.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about Lounge. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for your input.
He needs those YouTube thumbnails.
Thank you so much for your input, guys. And I think that's it from you guys for today. So I'll see you two tomorrow, and I'm going to be joined by Metas and Natu for the final match of the day. We're going to head to a commercial break right now, but when we are back, it's going to be Godsent versus ENCE.